Our next competitor is Natalie Miller, who's a master's student in Communication, Science, and Disorders. Natalie's advisor is Dr. Ramesh Kaipa, and the title of her talk is Effective Communication, the Hidden Potential of Autism. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Miller.
To effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the world. Tony Robbins. Effective communication is a critical part of our world and our society, but communication is hard. It forces each individual to display their ideas, emotions, and intelligences outwardly, as well as forces each individual to interpret and understand other people's outwardly display of their ideas, emotions, and intelligences. How difficult is that when there are 7+ billion people in the world? That's 7 billion differences in ideas and intellects that we as a human population are supposed to coordinate through communication. That is a tall order, and it becomes even taller when differences are not always understood. This is where the field of speech-language pathology comes in, by working with people who communicate differently. Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disorder that impacts an individual's ability to communicate with a wide spectrum of variability and severity. People with autism often have struggles making friends, have restricted interests, and are sometimes labeled isolated or strange. Yet some of this world's greatest minds have come from people who possessed this disorder. Isaac Newton, somebody who struggled to make friends and socialize, is now speculated to have had a mild form of autism. Yet it is from his abilities that came numerous groundbreaking advancements in mathematics, physics, and astronomy. Newton was thought of as an insignificant scholar and a poor student until one of his professors took notice to recognize his potential, and he is now rightfully remembered as one of the greatest scientists of all time. Temple Grandin, diagnosed with autism, didn't say anything at all until the age of 3.5 and was labeled weird by her classmates. Temple's parents were told that their daughter was brain damaged and should be placed in a care facility, but instead, they opted for intensive speech-language therapy as well as surrounding her with opportunities to communicate. Temple has now come up with a revolutionary way to handle cattle, is a world-renowned author and spokesperson for her own disorder, and is currently an animal science professor at Colorado State University. The list goes on, but the point is this. People with autism communicate differently, but don't we all? Effective communication is not about making sure everyone communicates synonymously. Effective communication is about integrating the differences in the way we communicate to foster diversity, support, helpfulness, and acceptance. When asked what she wants the world to know about people with autism, Ann Calgary said this: "People with autism have a special window to the world. Our lens allows us to see depth and a perspective that many miss." The next time you interact with somebody with autism, I encourage you to embrace who they are, because inside that adult or that child might be the cure for cancer. But no matter what, inside that adult or that child is an invaluable amount of hidden potential, and they're just waiting for a communicator like you to understand them. Thank you.